Good morning, good afternoon or good evening, and welcome to another video finally. I've been away for a while, but I have had a bunch of Skyrim footage that I recorded some time ago sat on my hard drive waiting for me to actually do some sort of commentary over. And this is another one of the videos where I've been walking around Skyrim and trying to show just how big you can make the different settlements, villages, towns, all those sort of places with the mods that you can get on the Nexus.
Be glad you're here in the city and not out in Riverwood.
And I would also like to have been able to install the AI Overhaul Mod that makes a lot of the NPCs decide not to talk to you all of the time, because they do kind of interrupt you. It does get perhaps a little bit frustrating every now and then, but such is life. So, as I did with Riverwood, although I may not do this in any future ones because they're larger places, I'm doing the sort of walkthrough first of how the standard game is. You know, going past the outskirts of it, the stables, and apparently the Khajiit have turned up to do their little trading today. Always wonderful, or not so wonderful, trading with the Khajiit and their funny accents. Little guard making a stroll there. Yeah, I'm gonna run through this one because, you know, we've all seen Whiterun. We've all seen Jarl Balgruuf. It's basically the first place you end up. On that basis, it is also one of the places I guess Bethesda would have wanted to have a big impact on you as a player. Now, I didn't play this game when it first came out back in 2011. I wasn't so interested in the likes of kind of dragons and elves and stuff like that then. You know, it wasn't really my sort of thing. I was definitely more of a Fallout kind of player, post-apocalyptic, super mutants, power armor and all that sort of stuff. You know, I reckon this must have looked pretty good back then.
Could you spare a coin?
You know, I did, on my main playthroughs, I have spared many a coin for that young girl there and adopted her multiple times, but not today, not today. So this would have looked pretty amazing, I guess, when it was first out. You know, but through the power of mods, I think we can do somewhat better. And even the game thinks it's going to be better. You know, see, I was thinking it was looking like quite a nice day there, but it actually looks a little bit crap in the background there. There you go. Straight away we've got the Skyrim bridges, same that we saw in Riverwood. And there's little features as well, like those beehives at the Huntingbrew Meadery. The usual things that I said last time, where we've got the Tamriel reloaded trees and fauna and all that sort of stuff. But you can get quite a significant expansion to the outside of Whiterun. And just as with Riverwood, that's through, well, the way I'm doing it anyway is through expanded towns and cities. A lot of the buildings that you see popping up, just turning side to side, so the pop-up might not be so evident. You know, with a lot of these mods you do get a lot more pop-up. There's probably a way that you can resolve that using some of the draw distance mods, but they start to get a little bit more complicated. This is all here, you know, there's some default houses in there, but there's a lot of expanded towns and city stuff there as well. Just like this particular house here. You can see the watchtower, the western watchtower in the background there. And there's also this little house here, which just happens to sit nicely outside expanded towns and cities. I wonder if that was done on purpose. And this is Little House, and this is a very quaint little cottage. And I say little, it is tiny, but it's chock-a-block full of stuff. And it's by, as you can potentially guess, Eleonora. Her houses are always chock-a-block full of little details. That one is no different. As we approach Whiterun, you would normally go in around there through the front, but we're going to take a little detour to the waterfall here, because there's a nice little secret base that you can get down here, which is called the Assassin's Dragon Reach Hideout. Built into a little cave underneath the waterfall. It's pretty fancy. There are various different flavours of it. You know, people have done reworks of this, changed the interior, extend it a little bit. It's not huge, but it's got all the stuff that you would normally have in a player home. It is a player home. I steered clear of some of the amended versions because they had a few kind of errors in them when you check them in loot. So I've gone with the original one for this, but there are various different versions you could get of that if you wanted. And they're all on the Nexus, of course. So looking back, that is the expanded towns and cities again, and that fits in quite nicely as well. We've got the exterior add-on for Whiterun done by JK here as well, which really improves the look of the exterior, adds quite a bit of detail, and it gives it, you know, with more guard towers and more of the wooden spikes around, it gives it even more of a fortress-like appearance. Now as we go over the bridge here, I can't really remember if this was in the original or if this is something JK's Whiterun mod added, but there's this little room under here, and you can also get a mod which are called, there's ones available for quite a lot of the towns which are called Hole in the Walls. A little house in there basically with a few, it takes an existing part of it and adds, some player home features like beds and enchanting tables, all that sort of stuff. Lots of additional flowers and trees and stuff, little bushes around here, all enhancing the atmosphere. So let's take a look at inside. Now we have here JK's Whiterun, which is very impressive and requires a decent computer to run, mixed in with Dawn of Whiterun. You can get compatibility patches. You do need to do a little bit of messing around, but there's also a bunch of other stuff in here as well that you can actually fit in quite nicely. Most of what you see in here is the JK side of Whiterun, the Dawn of Whiterun, and a lot of the little banners and things like that, and you'll see a lot of extra traders and so on. At this point in time, I don't have any additional NPC mods on because I didn't want my computer to explode under the strain.
Damn those Greymanes to oblivion.
Yes, damn them.
Back the storm cloaks, they'll get what's coming.
I think most people actually would side with the Greymanes in this, so that guy is probably barking up the wrong tree, I would imagine.
What are you looking at?
Oh, everybody's favourite. It's amazing. It's amazing how Bethesda managed to create characters in every single game that you really just want to slap. But ignoring Braith for a moment, that is JK's Whiterun and Dawn of Whiterun, but that is not all. It leaves spaces for some nice little other mods. They're all player homes, but pretty much all of the stuff you can get for these sort of things is player homes. So this is the classic little bridge end, which sits just nicely here under the entrance bridge. Once you go past the door, nice little bit of lag coming out of there. Lag is a good fun thing in a modded Skyrim, and that is the updated breeze home. I'm not going to take a look inside because I haven't actually unlocked it in this one, but there's also lots of little add-on mods that you can get to the standard breeze home, and I've ended up kind of combining a few of them here. So there's that kind of greenhouse bit at the front, there's a little porch out the back. A lot of this stuff comes with the updated breeze home that has that nice little tower on it, but you can get some of these sort of things separately as well.
Yes.
There's a lot of Dawn of Whiterun stuff around the back here as well. A lot of additional traders going on, and a dog. Yeah, woof woof to you, mate, as well. And there's some, a lot of additional detail around here as well. All the banners and, the bannered mare has additional tables and seating outside. This kind of comes in either JK's or Dawn of Whiterun. They've just kind of mixed the two. And we've got this little bottom of the well here as well. Another little player home that you can get. Just all these extra little spaces in Whiterun, all the nooks and crannies and so on. You have to beat a guy up. Well, you have to kill a guy. He's an Argonian to get this, and I kind of stashed his body down there so nobody would find it, but it's okay. It's my little pauper's home now anyway. I'll have to go through my dead body to get it.
You have questions?
They take a walk up.
Mister, could you spare a coin?
She still wants money, the little beggar. They take a walk up here towards the main building, I should say, of Whiterun, which is Dragon's Reach. Jarl Balgruuf. That's his lovely home. Take a look out over the JK's Whiterun. And there's a little enhancement that you can get to Dragon's Reach as well. And this is called the recreation of Dragon's Reach, or Dragon's Reach recreation, whatever you want to say. It's a bit of a tongue twister when you say it like that with the R's. And it basically makes it look like somewhat more of a castle than it is already. It kind of fits okay-ish with the other stuff that I've got going, but there's if you were to look closely, there's a few little errors, and that guard clearly pissed. What the hell is he doing? We're not going to talk to him about that. This is where you'd get into the dungeons and so on around this side now, so they've changed the way you enter. They move the doors for them, essentially. We're not going to go in because I hear that Balgruuf is practicing his swag rap at the moment, so we'll bugger off and we will hit that dirty lag spot as you go down the stairs there. Get past that as quickly as possible. And let's look at, well, what is probably the biggest player home that you can get for this. This is the Morningstar home with kids' bedrooms as well, so places to put your adopted kids. Very lovely. Some slightly weird looking wall textures there, but I kind of go for the external aesthetics more than anything else, I guess. That's what I'm looking for, really. But I'm going to give tours around all of these buildings anyway because they're there, and we can. And you got to love this. Is one of the TARDIS homes. It's absolutely, can't see it quite yet, but it's humongous in size inside, and way bigger than you would actually expect from looking at it from the outside. It is absolute TARDIS, and it was essentially, if you're thinking about it in a realistic manner, in Skyrim, as you do, this would have to be built very, very deep into the rock, and some rich bugger made this because he would have had to have carved it out an awful lot. There's lots of stuff down here, obviously smelting underground, always good. Lots of room for doing ironworks, lots of room for the heat to escape and so on. That might help you have heat this nice little sauna here. I suppose you could be using your energy and being green. Let's go and check the armory. It all goes quiet in here. I'm not quite sure why. But it does actually lead into the dungeons, or the sewers even, under Whiterun, I believe. Although I never bothered to get the key for it, so I don't know exactly where it comes out. I do believe it goes into the sewers, though. Yeah, but if you've got, if you've been playing through Skyrim for a while and you want to, you want to display your 1 million pieces of armor, then that's a good place to do it there as well. Always good. And another interesting thing about this is it leads to Yavaska, which is quite nice. Easy way here to get into, from if you're using that home anyway, easy way to get into the Companions Guild.
What kind of weapon
And their hideout.
Oh, I'm just a servant,
Nothing's changed to Yavaska in this, so we're going to take a quick walk through and get out into the back garden because JK's Whiterun does some wonderful things up here. The miracle of time passing there, it was daytime when we went in and now it's night. Pretty amazing, really. These new steps added up the back here. The passing of time in Skyrim, it's a magical place. The day-night cycle is insane. Lots of detail and therefore lots of lag up here. But I think we can all agree that JK did some awesome stuff with Skyforge. It's never looked better. Let's take a quick walk back down. Yeah, so we're seeing quite a lot of stuff added to Whiterun here. Lots of additional detail in the main place itself. Some cool player homes from full-size TARDIS homes. A bit ridiculous to these tiny little nook and cranny homes as well, which I quite like. I really do like the bridge den. And you'd be walking through here and you'd kind of think, well, that's got to be it now. There's what else could be added to Whiterun. It was big in the first place. Now it's pretty massive. All this detail here. Goats escaping their pens. There's another guardhouse there. All these gates and stuff here, and additional kind of plants and so on that weren't there before. And then you walk around the back, and we've already seen it. You see this door here, and you think, well, what's going on here? And suddenly, you've got the Whiterun alternate entrance expansion, a whole new section, which is kind of imagined as a sort of working quarters, which is a really cool expansion to the back of the building. There's lots of stuff going on here. There's another lot of guards' quarters, and another, that also leads into the sewer system of Whiterun as well. So this amends the sewer system a little bit. There's various houses there. There's shops here. These are 2 shops you can get various goods from. as you can in shops. And then this place also has Whiterun's first brothel. It's this building coming up here on the right, you know, opposite this wonderful statue here is a brothel with a goat outside, and I don't want to think about why a brothel has a goat outside. You know, maybe the Nords had their little kinks, and we didn't worry about that sort of stuff. But there's other cool little things about this as well. So it's got these battlements, the extended battlements out the front. You know, really cool view over the Whiterun hold. And it's also, albeit just for show, it's got this wicked little catapult here that you can just fire these flaming canisters back, perfectly aimed for there. So as long as the approaching army comes down that exact mountain pass, perfectly aimed, you're going to get them every single time. You know, so for the Benny Hill of approaching armies that you know just come down exactly where you want them to go. Overall, you know, you can really make Whiterun a lot more expansive than it was in the original game. And you just imagine if Bethesda was able to do this with the default game. You know, what sort of level of detail could they get into the default game? You know, we haven't even brought in any of the immersive NPCs or inconsequential NPCs, any of the cutting room floor stuff here, which adds loads of stuff as well. There's so much going on in Whiterun. And with that, we've come to the end of the tour. So I'm going to say thank you very much again for watching. I hope to catch you again soon for another video. Take care.